Hey friends, my name is Amit-Lייב. I am Ableton certified trainer from Israel, and the following video is about how to play Ableton's push like you would play any other instrument. If you've never played any instrument like a guitar or piano before, that's fine. Using the push is very easy and you'll be able to get along very quickly. But in order to do so, we have to understand some basic music theory and how the push works. So in order to do so, let's get started. Push have two main modes of playing. The first is chromatic. That means you can play all possible notes. But that means sometimes you might play things you don't want to play. The second is in key, playing specific set of notes within a certain scale. Although you can play with the push with lots of different scale, most popular songs are either major or minor scale. Both major and minor scale contain 7 notes with very specific music interval between them, which characterize the scale itself. Major considered to be happy, while minor considered to be sad. The first note of a scale is represented by the blue pads, while other notes in the scale are white. Pressing each one of the pads around the push will lead green pads around it. That means you can see the note represented in different places around the push. This is the same note, the same as this, and this. This will help you playing more complex things around the push while changing the fingering positions. You can either play, but you can also play, and you can also play. Finding the best fingering is very helpful to play complex things more easily. Since that's the way push works, the key of the scale doesn't really matter, and you can change the key and still keep the same fingering positions. If you wish to actually change push grid, you can enable the fix mode, which will fix the notes in place, and you could actually see the scale moving around. And again, the blue is representing the beginning of the scale. But they won't stay in place the same way they would be without fixing. Since we have only 7 notes in a scale, let's remember them by numbers. Blue will always be number 1, and you can go from here upwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it goes in circle, meaning after you're getting to 7, you're going back to 1. Besides remembering the numbers, you should also know the same circle by keys. In a C scale, it would be C, D, E, F, G, A, and B. And again, C, D, E, F, G, A, and B. And for instance, if it would change to an F scale, it goes F, G, A, B, C, D, E. F, G, A, B, C, D, E. And again, it goes in circle. It doesn't even matter if it's a minor or a major scale because the circle is the same at all times. In order to create a basic triad chord, you just have to play the first, the third, and the fifth. And then you get a simple chord. Unlike counting the notes in a scale, playing 1, 3, and 5 of a chord actually counts from the selected pad itself, meaning if we're playing 1, 2, 3, or for instance 1, 3, and 5, we're having the chord again. And for now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, and 7 chord. We have different 7 chords. Some of them are major, some of them are minor, and one of them is even diminished. Understanding the basics of music theory now allows us to look for the web for any song we like. Just write the name of the song and chords and you'll probably find some guitar website with the chords and lyrics. All is left to understand which of these chords are number 1. It usually is the first one of the song. By knowing the circle, we now can just count and play the chords by numbers. For instance, if we look at Let It Be of the Beatles, we have C, which is the first one. starting from here. And then we have G, which is number 5, which I'll play over here, which is more convenient for me. Number 6 and number 4. And again. Let it be, let it be, let it be. And so on and so forth. And for instance, let's take a different example. Let's take this song by Taylor Swift, which is very popular nowadays. And now we're playing, and we see the first chord of the song is D. But again, using the push, it doesn't really matter if I'll assume this is number 1 and D is number 1. All I have to understand is the next chord. And I see it's A. And I can understand that if we're starting from D, E, F, G, A, we're reaching to number 5. So we can play 1, 5, and we can actually see it's number 4 and number 5. Number 6 and number 5, I'm sorry. And we can see that actually Taylor Swift, I Knew You Were Trouble, is actually the same chord progression as we would play Let It Be of the Beatles. So, we can play just as we would all we have to do now is just practice, remember the numbers, convert them to chords, and then back to numbers, and then it will be very easy to play the push. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and back to 1. So playing the push using scales makes songs very easy and fun, but keep in mind that sometimes you might encounter chords that come along with an extension of 7, 9, sus4, and so on and so forth. You might not be able to play them all using push in scale mode. So keep in mind, sometimes these what makes songs different, these what makes songs beautiful, and sometimes it's really good to go outside the scale. So enjoy and take care.